The observer design pattern is a behavioral pattern. Behavioral patterns identify common communication patterns between objects. In this video, we will look at the characteristics of the observer pattern and then demonstrate it with an example of a newsfeed application. The observer design pattern involves a subject, which is the object of interest, and observers which are interested in this object. The subject notifies these observers when a change happens. This is typically used in publisher-subscriber kind of applications. So say you have subscribed to a website which will send you notifications when a promotion happens. It is also used in the model view controller applications where the model is the subject and the views are observers. This pattern allows for loose coupling between the subject and the observers so that the observers can attach or detach from the subject without causing a change to the subject. Here is the UML diagram for this pattern. This pattern involves a subject and a concrete subject, observer and a concrete observer. The subject and the observer can be abstract classes or interfaces, and the concrete objects provide the implementation. The subject maintains a list of the observers who are interested in watching it. It provides methods for the observers to attach or detach, or register and deregister from subscription. It will also have a method to notify the observers registered when a change happens. There is a concrete subject where there is a state. For instance, in a newsfeed application, it may be a list of news items. There are methods to set the state and get the state of the subject. So in a newsfeed application, the observers or subscribers subscribe and unsubscribe to the newsfeed application using the attach and detach methods. It notifies the subscribers on change. Using the set state method, a change is initiated. So for instance, receiving a news article, and using the get state, the observers get that state or the news. The observer would have an update method, which is the handle it provides to the subject to notify it of the change. So here, I have Spring Tool Suite running on my machine, which is the flavor of Eclipse. Let us create a new project of type Java, give it a name observer pattern. First, let us start off with the creation of the subject class. Let us right click on the project, choose new and then class. Call it subject. This would be an abstract class. Let us first put the method bodies. So as we know, the subject would have an attach method to allow the observer or subscriber to subscribe. We will implement observer soon. Similarly, a detach method to allow it to unsubscribe. It will have a notify observers method to notify subscribers, and then get state and set state to allow for setting the change to the newsfeed application, and with the get state method letting the subscribers get the change. Now the attach, detach and notify observers method will generally have a common implementation across all subjects. But we may want to create different subject types who may implement their own get state and set state method implementations based on their unique state or what they want to track. So let us mark these two methods as abstract. Let us implement the other methods. Let us create a list of type observer to keep track of the subscribers to the subject. Don't worry, we will implement observer soon. The attach method will simply add the past observer to the list. Detach will remove it from the list. Notify observers will iterate over the list of subscribers and call their update method. Now Java util package has an implementation of the observer, but we will create our own. So let's remove the import. Now let us create a concrete subject. So right click on the default package and choose new class, call it newsfeed. In the super class, let us put the subject, click finish. Now for the newsfeed, the state is the news items. So let us create a linked list of news items, call the variable news items. The set state method will receive a new news item and will add it to the news items. It will then also notify the observers of this event or change. The get state method, which will be called by the subscriber upon being notified by the update method, would return back the latest news. Let us implement the observer class now. So here in our subject class, if we hover over the observer, Eclipse suggests that it can create a new class, and so let us choose that. We will create it as an abstract class. Click finish. The observer will also keep a local reference of the subject. So let us create a protected newsfeed variable. Inside, We will also have an abstract update method. Let us now create a concrete implementation of the observer class. So right click on the default package, choose new, and then class. Call it subscriber. For the super class, let us put observer, click finish. Now let us create a private variable to hold the name of the subscriber. Our abstract super class contains a reference of the subject. So let us create a constructor for the subscriber which takes in the string name as well as the reference to the subject which will be stored. So let us store this subject as newsfeed by casting it. Next, let us add our subscriber to the subscribers list of the subject by calling newsfeed.attach and add a reference to this list. Let us assign the name to name. Inside the update method, which would be used as a handle by the subject to notify the subscriber, we can put the possible actions which the subscriber might want to do based on the notification. But for now, let us just print out a message that the subscriber, concatenating its name, received the news and call the newsfeed.getState to receive the latest news. That is it. Now to test it, let us right click on the default package and choose new, class, call it tester, click finish. Inside, first let's create the subject or the object of interest we want to observe. So subject newsfeed equal to new newsfeed. Next, let us create a couple of observers or subscribers. So subscriber 1 as new subscriber, passing in its name subscriber 1 and the reference to newsfeed. Similarly, let us initialize subscriber 2, giving it a name subscriber 2. Now let us assume a new news is received, and so the news source calls the newsfeed.setState to pass the news newsflash1. It calls it again to pass newsflash2. Let us run this class to see if the messages were received by the observers. So let's right click and choose Run as Java application. And here, as you can see in the console output, both the subscriber 1 and 2 received the newsflash 1 and 2. So in this video, we looked at the characteristics for the observer pattern, that it involves a subject and one or more observers which are loosely coupled. We then saw a demonstration to make the concepts concrete. Thanks for watching.